let's look at some advanced for loop concepts. So here is everything we've talked about for loops previously in the two previous video lectures. So let's move beyond these and let's go to something a little bit more advanced. So the stop can be any sort of condition, and it doesn't have to be tied to iterator. But it is dangerous to not have it tied to the variable being iterated over. This could potentially create an infinite loop. So let's look at, let's create two random numbers, x and y will be from 1 to 10. Let's print them out. Then we'll create a for loop that goes from 0, and it's going to run while x is less than y. It's going to increase I by 1. Every single time it's going to increase x by 1. So here, this is going to end when x is no longer less than y. So if x is 10 and y is 9, that's false, and it will end. So that will eventually end because x is increasing by 1. It will, by definition, eventually end. But if I change this to say x minus minus, it's quite possible if x was 5 and y was 7, and then you keep subtracting 1 from x, that it will never end. Now, you can get infinite loops even if you don't use this concept of having your stop being something that's not involved with the iterator, but it is definitely more dangerous having your stop not related to the iterator. You can use a break to end a loop early. So here we've got a loop that's going from 0 to 10, and it's going to print out I. And then I just made an if statement in here saying if I is equal to x, it's going to break. So it's going to end. Break brings you down here, so it ends the loop. You can use a continue to make a loop move to the next iteration. So here we got a loop that goes from 0 to 10. If some random number is greater than 5, then it's going to print, will not print out this value, and it's going to continue. So it's going to, when it hits the continue, what happens is it doesn't do anything else left in the loop. It runs back to here and increases I to the next value. All right, so let's run this and let's see if this is doing what we think it's doing. So you can see here this first one, 2, 3, 4. You can see x getting larger. Here it's printing off all these different values of I. Now let's look back at that code so we can have a better understanding of what this is doing. So it creates a random number. If it's greater than 5, it prints out I will not print out I equals I. So you can see here it's not printing out. So 0, 1, skip the 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the 6, the 7, skips the 8, and 9. So you can see what's going on there. And then this for loop, you can use a break to end a loop early. You've got this 0. It eventually hits up to 7, which is the value of x. And it breaks so it doesn't print off I equals 8, 9, 10. And there we go. That is the end of this lesson.